can't believe it's been less than 24 hours since we left our Airbnb, and just pick the moments that really resonated and stuck, and not the fact that we had a bug infestation or that the host changed the code on us and we triggered the alarm. Okay, and the cops had to come. Not gonna think about that. Not gonna think about that. You know that mad rush when everybody's just like cleaning up the Airbnb because you have to be your own maids and whatnot? It's like the upside is you get all this space. The downside is no turnover, no turn down service, basically. Everybody was kind of playing their own role and picking up where somebody else left off. You know, it wasn't one person doing the dishes for 500 years. It wasn't one person sweeping. It wasn't one person packing the car. It was kind of like, what I can only describe was feeling like a well-oiled machine. And that is what I freaking love about my girls. Like, we don't have to direct, since we're all in our hyper masculine and super hyper achieving, that we just kind of scan, assess, and go. And I feel like most women kind of do this anyway. It felt like it was just easy, even though it was kind of stressful because obviously you gotta leave the house the way you found it, and we have kids. But the whole teamwork part of it, that whole aspect, I'm like, we are not meant to be this nuclear family and then hoping to win capitalism enough so that we can have a housekeeper and a nanny and just like help. Like, we literally need a community. We need a village, and that was my village. It was my peek into the village, and I'm gonna take that because I want this experience to be something that I magnify as a positive emotional experience that I'm gonna draw upon again. Because anything can be looked at like glass half full, glass half empty, right? So I could look back and be like, that host, don't judge, was challenging. Or I can look back and like think of the moments where me and my girls were operating like a well-oiled machine. My son woke up excited every single morning to play with his friends. Now I want that feeling again. And I'm going to reverse engineer to that feeling, but I'm going to sit in that feeling. But what we don't do well is coming back to the positive experience and reliving that positive experience over and over and over. I feel like we are way more inclined, especially with our reticular activating system, if we have trained it to only look for the hard things. I could look back and be like, remember that Airbnb from HE double hockey sticks? No, I'm going to look back and remember the time that I had that feeling of camaraderie, of collectivism, of friendship, of community, of my son being excited to wake up in the morning and take on his day. I want every day to be exciting, like we're waking up for a field trip and I saw it. And I'm like, okay, now how do we replicate that in adults? You get to choose what stories you get to replay over and over in your head, and what kind of emotional meaning and depth that you give it. Like, you have that power. You don't have the power for the things that happen to an extent, but we are responsible for the meaning that we give to a story, and we are responsible for how often we let it replay and run. Choose your stories wisely.